Kelly Ripa is never shy about sharing personal, and often hilarious, stories from her marriage with Mark Consuelos. But her latest revelation on Live with Kelly and Mark might just top them all. The longtime host opened up about a surprisingly intense moment between her and Mark when he accidentally interrupted her precious, alone time. And her reaction left the studio audience howling with laughter. It began, as so many Ripa Consuelos anecdotes do, with Kelly's trademark storytelling flair. During the morning show's host chat segment, Kelly set the scene with mock drama and a twinkle in her eye. "I have a confession," she said, leaning toward the camera as the audience leaned in. "I was in the middle of what I call Kelly time. You know, candles, music, the whole spa situation. Just me, myself, and some peace. And then," she paused dramatically, "he walked in." The he, of course, was none other than her husband and co-host, Mark Consuelos, and his timing could not have been worse. Mark, sitting next to her on the live couch, grinned sheepishly as the audience erupted in laughter. "I didn't know I was walking into a war zone," he said, hands raised defensively. Kelly continued, "I was meditating. I had noise-canceling headphones on, cucumber water next to me, the dog was finally asleep. Everything was perfect. And suddenly I feel this presence behind me. I turn around and there's Mark, standing there like he's about to ask if I've seen his socks." Mark, laughing, interjected, "That's actually what I was doing." Kelly rolled her eyes for comedic effect. "Of course you were. I'm sitting in my serenity and my husband's like, 'Babe, have you seen my blue socks?'" I went from Zen goddess to New Jersey banshee in about 0.3 seconds. The crowd roared as she mimicked her own reaction, a mix of exaggerated frustration and mock rage. I told him, "Mark, if you value your life, walk away," slowly. Mark nodded in agreement. "She gave me the look. You know that look that says, 'Run before you ruin this marriage.' So I backed out of the room like a cat who just realized he's in the wrong house." Kelly couldn't resist adding, "I'm not saying I overreacted, but my heart rate monitor went from 60 to 150. My Apple Watch thought I was doing cardio." The light-hearted back-and-forth had the audience in stitches, but beneath the laughter, Kelly's anecdote touched on something relatable, the importance of personal space, even in a long and loving marriage. Alone time in a 28-year marriage. Kelly and Mark, who have been married since 1996, are famously close, both emotionally and literally, since they now co-host a daily live talk show together. Fans adore their easy chemistry and playful banter, but Kelly admitted that being together constantly makes her alone time sacred. "When you work together, live together, and raise 3 kids together, alone time becomes this mythical creature," she said. "It's like spotting a unicorn. When I get it, I guard it with my life." Mark playfully shot back, "I thought I was your alone time." Kelly didn't miss a beat. "You were for the first 15 years. Now I just want a moment to remember what silence sounds like." The moment was classic live, warm, funny, and completely unscripted. But Kelly also took a moment to reflect seriously on how important balance is in long-term relationships. "I think everyone needs a little solitude," she said. "Even when you adore your partner, you still need to recharge on your own. Otherwise, you start resenting the person for just existing in your airspace." Mark nodded knowingly. "So what you're saying is, I should schedule my sock emergencies for after your spa sessions." Kelly smiled sweetly. "Exactly, and that's why we're still married." The internet reacts. As clips of the exchange hit social media, fans couldn't get enough of the couple's hilarious honesty. "Kelly Ripa threatening Mark Consuelos over socks is the most married thing I've ever seen," one viewer tweeted. Another commented, "If Kelly's Apple Watch thought she was doing cardio, that's real rage right there." Others praised Kelly for normalizing the need for alone time in relationships. "Thank you, Kelly Ripa, for saying what every married woman is thinking," one fan wrote. "Sometimes you just need an hour without anyone asking where their stuff is." The clip quickly went viral, racking up hundreds of thousands of views on Instagram and TikTok. Many viewers pointed out how rare it is to see a couple as open and genuinely funny about the ups and downs of married life. One commenter summed it up perfectly. Kelly and Mark don't pretend to be perfect. They show that love can survive everything, even a sock crisis during meditation. From soap opera to real life, Kelly and Mark's relationship has always fascinated fans, ever since they met on the set of All My Children in the mid-90s. Their chemistry was instantaneous, so much so that they eloped in Las Vegas less than a year later. Nearly 3 decades later, they've raised 3 children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, and navigated Hollywood, parenthood, and hosting morning television together. Still, Kelly has often joked that their dynamic hasn't changed much since their early days. Mark is still the handsome guy wandering into my space asking questions at the wrong time, she teased on the show. The only difference is now I have better lighting and a microphone. Mark, as always, took her teasing in stride. Listen, I interrupt her spa time, she interrupts my naps, it's an even trade. Kelly laughed. That's the secret, everyone. Mutual interruption and a sense of humor. Boundaries are sexy. Later in the episode, during a commercial break tease, Kelly circled back to the topic with a wink. For the record, I did eventually forgive him, she said. But I made him promise no entering the spa zone without permission. Mark replied, I'm getting you a do not disturb sign. Make it neon, Kelly quipped. Maybe it'll save our marriage one day. Off-air, sources close to the show revealed that Kelly's story wasn't exaggerated. She truly takes her alone time seriously. Kelly's days are nonstop, a production insider said. Between filming, workouts, and family, she carves out little windows of peace for herself. When Mark walked in during one of those, she gave him the full Jersey treatment, all in good fun, of course. Kelly herself later expanded on the moment during an Instagram Q&A with fans, explaining, I think boundaries are sexy. Knowing when to give your partner space is a form of respect. And if you accidentally cross that line, like Mark did, a little humor goes a long way. Fans see their own relationships in Kelly and Mark. Part of why Kelly and Mark's marriage continues to captivate audiences is how real they are. They argue, they tease, they interrupt each other, but they also clearly adore one another. Every spat turns into a comedy routine, every disagreement a shared punchline. One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, Kelly Ripa snapping at Mark Consuelos for interrupting her meditation is the most relatable thing ever. Marriage equals loving someone deeply, but also wanting them to vanish for 20 minutes. Another added, the fact that they can laugh about it on live TV just shows why they've lasted this long. Indeed, their openness, about everything from parenting to personal quirks, has helped make Live with Kelly and Mark one of the most beloved talk shows on television. The final word. By the end of the episode, Kelly had the last word, as usual. Look, she said with a grin, I may have scared him a little, but when you interrupt a woman during her sacred alone time, you get what you get. Mark laughed, pretending to wince. Lesson learned. Kelly added one final zinger. Next time, if you need your socks, text me, or better yet, buy new ones. The audience roared as the couple shared a playful smile, proving once again that laughter, even over the smallest domestic disasters, is the secret ingredient to a lasting marriage. In the end, Kelly Ripa's intense response wasn't about anger. It was about honesty, humor, and the never-ending dance of 2 people who still, after nearly 3 decades, know how to make each other and the world laugh.